He's doing it right now.
Is Diane on the phone? I hate this song. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Melody. I hate this song. I hate this song. Oh, somebody wrote me a message. Oh, this is what she said to Miranda? I said it to Miranda. Yo, what the fuck is your damn problem? Why you fucking trying to break me and Brad? Obviously, hun, he don't want you. He loves me. I hate this! Fucking wrong, cute hoe. I whispered in her ear, come here, you ready to go? I rolled up a winner and put it up in the air. Got that little dress on, you coming up out of there, yeah. She liked that. I hate the song. You like that? Okay. You bite? Well, I bite back. And I'm all go. I'm tired of staying. What the fuck did I say to her? Ha ha ha, that's a good comeback? I go hard, baby, yes. Kissing them, your chest in them, not your stress. I won't stop till you finish, but you ain't felt love till the gangster get up.
Look at my shirt.
Look at mine.
Look at my shirt. Hey, look.
Dude, mine didn't get fucked up, dude. I fucking hate this.
Ew!
She always call in the middle of the night. Cause I'm a dog, I'ma give her what she like. Say my name loud.
I hate this.
That's what I aim for.
It's getting me so fucking pissed off.
Baby like the way I wake
No! Melody! What's wrong with you? Oh, there goes Audita.
I gotta have it, the LB crazy. Let's talk how to do down crazy. Lights out, I'm so, mommy's so gone. Daddy won't quit. I won't stop till you finish. You never felt love till the gangster get up. Drink.